Hello, family. Hello, friends. This is Helena Kintz. You're listening to Chasing the Truth and Uniqueness podcast, a podcast that is set to share love, knowledge, and teach us how to love our uniqueness by living a truthful life, helping you to discover your strength by accepting your weaknesses. Great continent, the Africa, has been gifted in natural rich resources and in human capital. We have this pleasure to welcome today Marie-Ange Lundu, which is a brilliant woman. I call her a fearless leader who has this dream to bring Africa as one, to make it greater again, and to bring all Africans together, where she has established this platform called TokenDE Africa to promote and develop tourism in the Democratic Republic of Congo and in all African countries where she is involved. We have the pleasure today to welcome her, and we're letting her introduce herself to the audience of Chasing the Truth and Uniqueness podcast.
Okay, my name is Marie-Ange Lundu. I'm from Congo, DRC, and I am the founder and CEO of TokenDE Africa, which is a platform in charge of development and promotion of tourism in Africa, and especially in DRC. And I started working. I've got 19 plus of work experience, which started from a very tiny, small company till biggest company, biggest name in the world, and until I end up for being my own boss, for being my own entrepreneur of my own business.
Thank you. But before we, do you think because being a strong woman, an independent woman working for herself, and it's hard for this kind of woman to, to be hooked, to get married?
I think I'll say yes and no. My first yes is about is going back on years of 1960, 1970, whereby being a woman was only meaning to be a housewife, cooking, looking after the children, looking after the husband, looking after the house. That was 1960, 70, maybe 80 as well. But I'm gonna say yes to that if people are still thinking, or if you meet it on your way, type of people who really focusing on old ages businesses, or type of life, or type of family. But I'm gonna say no to that, because it's not because you are a successful woman in business that you cannot be successful in marriage. I'm still in the terms of values. I still valuing the marriage as a sacred relationship, as a sacred something to do in life, as something that has been built by God. So I again say no, because the only reason why powerful women remain single is because they're watching clearly because they know, first of all, what they want, and they know where they want to go, and they're watching, like, with a lot of carefulness to know where they want to step in. So and that's actually, men are not really comfortable on meeting somebody who's kind of equal or more than equal to them. And but this is just like old ages, on our ages, people are, men are happy to have a woman, let's say, like Michelle Obama, a woman like let me say, like Oprah Winfrey, because people want to see men actually in nowadays, they want to meet their equal. They want to meet somebody that will give them more than what they only can get from a let's say from a normal or from a regular woman, which is giving children and going to the kitchen. I think that's my point of view. So there's no fatality to say that if you are a successful woman you cannot get married, or if you are not successful woman then you can get married. Both works together. It depends on the person you meet and depends on all your criteria. That's it.
Mm, interesting point. Dan, do you agree with this verse of the Bible that says that a woman's a woman, I'm sorry, a woman must I mean the main duty is to love his wife, and the wife is to be the helper of the man. So when women are being bossy, women are being too independent and powerful in this era, don't you think that they are taking the same place? Not it's not becoming equality, but it's becoming like competition between men and women, even in business, in marriage. And because there cannot be competition in marriage, that's the reason why it's not working for this kind of women to be stable and to get married. What do you think about that?
Um, I keep saying that it's really depending on each and every person, but I'm gonna say it's not about competition. I agree that the Bible says that yeah, a woman is a helper. So and I'm gonna go maybe deeper, saying that if you can be a helper, which means you have to have a lot of strength, you have to have double of what the owner of the job has. So let's say I'm always saying that a woman is an incubator. If you give her $10,000 today, and if she's a very smart woman, after 5 years you will find out that she got 1 million, because we are good helpers, so we can really transform everything that we touch in our hands. And at the same time it's not separated. It's not like two sides like that cannot get along. um Successful women, there are few of them who are actually competing with men and who are saying that they don't need a man in their lives. And I think those ones, they need to look for God. But like I am in the side of people who saying no matter how rich you can be, no matter how powerful you are, you still have to abide in the relationship, to abide in the relationship, in a inappropriate relationship. Because guess what is happening after? So you refuse to have a husband because you think you can compete with a man. Anyway, whether we want it, whether we accept it or not, men will still be superior in terms of how God has created the world. So God's still a man, so God is not a woman. And most of things for male is like they have strength, they have physical strength, they have a lot of things, a lot of gift that God has given them. And us as helper, God has given us the capacity, the capability, and the power to support the people that are stronger than us, more stronger than us. So it's for me, it's not like, it's not a competition. You can be rich, you can be powerful. If you don't want to, you want to I mean, fall in all what we call the fornication, because this is what is happening. You don't want men, you don't want to get the husband, you don't want to be submissive to your husband. You will end up on having a desire, a physical desire, which will take you to fornication. And when you start fornicating, you forgot about God. So you're already tracing a wrong path, which will take you straight to the hell. So if you don't want to take this road, you rather take your step back, take your money down, and say to yourself, I'm a woman, I need a man, and I can be submissive while I'm busy working. I'm gonna say I can give my own example. And I think a lot of business women or business single lady don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I am in business like for so long. I started business when I was very young, but when, like, let's say the legit business, the legal business, I started 2012. And in that time I was in a relationship. But all I used to do is to introduce my man, to discuss with him every step of my life, every step of my business, because I don't want him to be surprised seeing me with a man having a coffee, because he's gonna think maybe this one is my boyfriend. Meanwhile, maybe he's a business partner. So I open up myself to him to say, hey, babe, this is what I do. This is how I do. This is how I get people. So such and such persons that you see around my life that we busy chatting, busy talking, those are my business partners or those are my friends. So don't feel afraid. And every time that I had like a dinner or something very special for my business, I always take my man along to make sure that the person is comfortable. So I think every woman can do that. I tried it and it works.
Saxophone woman being submissive. Pre- okay, let's assume that she is married. The powerful woman, saxophone, owning her own business, and maybe, getting more than her husband and having children. It can be two, three. How would you assume, or even if you had the opportunity to be in that position or to advise that kind of woman, how would you advise her? How would you yourself be like, as to position yourself in those three roles, like being a wife, being the helper, the wife helper, being yourself, you're the CEO of your company, and the mother of your children? If you can tell me how you can manage all that.
I can already tell you, and like a few days ago, I was thinking about it, and I just realized that the professional women, they are single professional business women, entrepreneurs women, they are well organized than any type of woman that can exist in the world. Why? I'm going to explain I'm going to explain myself. When you are a businesswoman, when you are leading people, you need to get well organized before leading other people, especially if you are pursuing your dreams and especially if you really need to make money in this world. You need to have a block note which you will put all your task of the day of a day, and you will put timing and you will record everything and you will make sure that you're reaching your targets on a daily basis. So this is a woman that is in a business, right? So that woman, if she's really organized, she will be successful. She will make money. She will get in the meeting on time. She will get her food on time. She will be ready to be in the office always on time. So this type of women, these are the well organized that can organize their family, because we all have to know, and I think every person knows that there is time for everything. So let's say I can give my own example. Um, when I'm home, I have days that I say these days are off for me. So when I say off, it's also about discipline. I mean, ladies who's doing business, they must also learn about discipline, and they must know how to apply it in everything and everybody. So women in business doesn't divide two side of people. It's not two people different. They are the same. It's the same person. So for me, for example, like I said, it's not difficult. You have your timeline, you have your plans. This time I'm busy with my children in the morning, and it's even more helpful if you do your own business, because you can start your day at 10 a.m. instead of starting your day at 6 a.m. Why? Because when you're working for somebody, you have to learn, you have to be on time, because you need to point yourself, because you need to sign on, to sign in and sign out. But when you have your own business, you can work everywhere, which gives you a lot of time to take care of your family. You can say my business start at 10, because in the morning I take my children home, I take them school, I have to make a breakfast for my husband, and then after 10 I run to my business, to my meeting and everything. After that, I have to come back home early to do my cooking and prepare the table for the dinner, prepare for the kids. You can make it. So it's actually the same as working for a company, coming back home. So it's even more easier when you're doing your own business. Even when you travel on your own business, you still have a chance to say, hey, honey, can you please come with me? Can I take my husband? Can we travel together? And it's giving you more opportunity to be together forever. That's it.
I would, if I was that woman, that I give an example, I would say yes. It's kind of, it can work out what you may plan to do actually when you can be in that position. But I don't know, the reality is just something else. The reality is that a man still want, even though nowadays men want independent women, men actually prefer, some men prefer the women, to have a business, to work. But at the same time, they need a woman to be a woman at home, their wives. So to handle their households, to take care of the children, to cook, instead of like employing a cooker or employing a nanny, a babysitting for the children. So they want the women to be able to handle all that. And we're talking about it, and I can come back to the teaching of the man, that God, who is the master of a couple, and the man who is the master of his wife, which is requiring the woman to actually just be submissive. So talking about submissive, I honestly, it depends. Only a woman who fear God, a woman who believes in God and obey God fully, can be submissive. Without